because like someone had to, people saw you, but then someone saw you setting up tents, so someone had to run off and tell someone else, and they had to run off and tell her, and she had to find her Draenei, and then they had to come over. So there was time.
So the chilling camp, what are they doing here? Would I know that? Why are they here? Is it just to keep watch on
keep watch and some more proactive stuff these days as well. In theory, I think by this point in the lore, although not in my version of the lore, an attempt has already been spearheaded to retake at least part of Andorhal, and so on. But yeah, the Argent Dawn's primary objective is to eventually one day purify and reclaim the Plague Lands.
Okay. But so did she wander off back to away, or she still?
She wandered off over towards dinner.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess if the tents up, I'll follow them to Quartermaster as well.
So we'll walk in. I guess I'll speak up and say, "Seems they bought our story for now. Should we divulge too much more?" It's curious.
I think they're more curious about us than what we're actually going to see. I think
probably a combination.
Yeah, but I think it would be best to be honest, unless obviously it goes against what we are saying. If they ask what are you doing, for instance, over here, I'm sure you two can be honest about what brought you to the Eastern Kingdoms. I don't see the harm in that. I think a lie is easier to keep secret if you use as much of the truth as possible.
Alright. Elan, are you comfortable with this?
Best I can. I'm not exactly the most talented liar, if you haven't been able to tell yet.
12's fine.
And that was with a low charisma check, right? Low roll?
No, that was with a 12.
Oh, you have no... Oh,
I have no proficiency whatsoever. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll do the best we can.
But if you're telling the truth, you shouldn't have to, roll deception. So it's fine.
Well, if it's persuasion or perception, it's the same check for me.
But if you're just asking what you're doing here and just ask them honestly, it shouldn't be either. It's just you talking to them.
If I was saying honestly...
Yeah, we can't be perfectly honest. We'll just keep it to the tomb itself, which is not entirely a lie, I guess.
Yeah. But I meant more about if they ask why are you on this continent, or what brought you to?
Yeah. So our sorry, I didn't understand you, but you're saying our personal history we can be honest about.
Exactly, we can be honest what brought us the Eastern Kingdoms and originally to Stormwind and stuff.
And what the three of us are doing here, we'll keep to our story.
Yeah, a few of us, that was just George visit the tomb, she hired us, or whatever.
Makes sense.
Okay, so you guys agree all this and then head on over to...
It's our story. I can't make us.
Sync our pocket watches.
Quartermaster Lightspark, who is in fact a gnome, in clerical vestments, but also wearing tucked into his belt, a tabard of the Argent Crusade, with some great facial hair. He's got sort of mutton chops, and it all links together into a great moustache, kind of creating a big M across his face, and then curling back up, and a shaven chin.
Of course.
Yeah, okay, I'll speak up and say, greetings, Master Lightspark.
Greetings, travelers.
Wait, do I know
for you? He's a gnome, yes.
I didn't even get that part.
Okay.
No, he does.
Yes, we were wondering if we could perhaps purchase some rations.
Certainly.
All we have currently is dwarven supplies. We bought an iron forge, which, as you might understand, limited in taste.
Oh, dwarf bread, was it?
I just do a knowing smile and
You got all the way here from Ironforge on dwarf bread?
rough travels.
Oh boy, I don't envy your bowels.
I go back to the tent. I cannot take it.
Well, we certainly have better fare than that. Not much better, but certainly tastier. And there's he shows you to again, very because there's not much hunting around here. There is some because there's like bears and stuff around, but like who really eats bear? But mostly it's like things that keep very well. So there's like like heavily salted strips of meat, and some also quite stale bread, although not sort of dense and hard on the scale that like dwarf bread is.
Mm-hmm.
Casks of ale, wine, stuff like that. It's basically regular rations. Rations being the operative word.
Right, what do you guys think? Like another week for us all? Seems
Probably.
good enough. We don't want to like be overburdened.
Yeah. How far do you think our travel is if we were really going to Uther's tomb?
Oh, like fucking like it'd only be like a week if I could. Yeah, about a week maybe.
To Uther's tomb? Nah, not even.
But I mean, there and back, right? Like
There and back, yeah. Yeah.
Like we gotta assume we asking for enough action to get there, and also.
So it's probably like a couple of days, like a couple of days back. But like if you were slowed down at all, I could easily stretch.
Yeah, like but we got
Yeah.
3 days
Plus,
there, 3 days back,
you're
and then that becomes a
and
week.
yeah, and then you're also
You wanna be
planning on
safe.
obviously if you're a historian, you're probably studying the whole area,
Yeah.
drawing sketches and stuff like that.
I think
so-
asking for a week wouldn't be suspicious. in
Yeah,
any way.
like
Yeah,
no,
okay.
it'd be well
Cool.
prepared. Like you could easily become 3 days there, like a day on site, looking
Yeah.
around, and then 3 days
Yeah.
back. Could easily
Exactly.
happen.
If someone accidentally breaks a leg or something like that, you gotta you want to be
Right.
prepared. Delays and stuff.
Cool.
Wait, to
Alright.
Talia, you would want to speak.
Yeah. So let's.
Yes.
I'll just ask for like. I don't know how much that would
okay.
be in
So
like
depending
strips
on,
of bacon and shit.
It's like standard 5e rations, so
Mm.
standard weights and prices.
How much is that? £2 and like 5 silver or something?
Well, for £5 and 2 silver. There's no way today's ration is £5. It
No.
must be £2 and 5
I
silver.
think it's £2 and 5 silver.
It's correct.
You got the money covered, Jacko, or do you want to
Yeah,
like
sure.
us actually to kind of okay? So that'd be 21. So it's like 10 gold, 5 silver.
Cool.
I guess we each take 7. Sounds good to me. But 25 now.
Oh, god damn it! I was.
Hey, Chris, you know my ball bearings in my back can maybe all be silver. I can use them as bullets. Think about that. 1,000 bullets.
No,
Excellent.
not even like a little.
Can I put them in my gun?
No, your gun shoots actual like shaped cartridge rounds. Not like balls. Not
Oh, I'll ask them then. Do you also sell ammunition?
for what? You're over there back at the tents. He says, waving, because you went back to the tents and therefore.
Oh, yeah.
asking him for-
I came back. I was looking at myself.
Can you come back? Excuse me, I was just looking at my stuff.
My gun, Chris. My gun.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm back. Like, do you also sell ammunition?
For that? Are you carrying the gun at this point?
My revolver, I'll kind of like draw it, but like I'm holding the barrel, so like you can see it. I'm not like holding it, fucking pointed at him.
Yeah. Not much call around here. Not really a paladin thing, but should have some. And he kind of like scrambles under the table and like pulls out some boxes and crowbars them open. Yeah, he's got that. He's got ammunition. He's well supplied.
Are they silver? Are they not?
All silvered.
Whole silvered. Amazing.
Not much call for anything else.
No, I can imagine not. How much are they?
What's the regular price on ammo? Do you know?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't think it even said on the. Let me check. I don't have the document open, so it might be a little.
Okay, well you can figure it out. Just,
Yeah. Okay.
just,
Yeah.
Whatever the regular price is, then like times 5.
How big are they? How big is like?
Times
Was it
5.
feasible bullets?
Just worry about the weight, I guess.
Oh, okay. Ammo doesn't weigh anything. Normal rules. Doesn't weigh anything.
Then okay. Just,
How many are there?
Let's-
How many does he have? Like he showed me a crate, right?
Oh yeah, he's probably got like 500 rounds.
Okay.
Jesus.
But these wouldn't work in my sniper rifle, right? Or would they?
Does it differentiate in like in the book
No.
between the ammo types?
No.
No, then no. Then that's
Oh, okay.
that's not.
Then I actually have
that's
more ammo
5e and in theory, you'd want different arrows for
Right, I
the
was thinking.
longbow and stuff, right? Like, but needs to go there.
Can I get 50 bullets, please?
Sure thing.
Great. I'll do in the gold, and then I'll figure out how much it is.
Glad to be shifting the inventory, to be honest.
Also, I haven't had much chance to fight the undead. I imagine you have more experience in it. How are they attracted to sound? If I fire a gun like this in the vicinity of one, do you think it could be prone to attract more, or do you think they aren't that intelligent?
Kind of scratches his shaven chin and strokes his moustache and says, I don't know really much about that. I'm not so much a fighter. You might want to ask one of the paladins. Officer Pureheart, she's got the most experience around here, I think.
Okay, I'll see. I might have a chat with her. Thank you.
Okay.
We never got introduced to the Draenei, right?
No. He just kind of came over with her, and then, after like a couple of sentences into the conversation, when he was confirmed that you
Right.
guys weren't some psychopaths, she just
Yeah.
sort of nodded at him and he walked off.
We're not
How common
First
are Draenei around the Alliance and like these
Draenei are one of the major races of the Alliance. In the Argent Dawn, they're probably like the third most common race after humans and dwarves, although not nearly as common as either, but like fairly common.
Right.
Draenei Paladins are like Paladin is like one of the major sort of
Gotcha. So it would be
fighting
stand out.
roles
I was going to ask after, but I'm like, but asking after would be suspicious almost because like, why would you? That's a normal thing. Yeah. Cool. Never mind.
Yep. So then do you guys go and join the Paladins for supper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
We'll
it.
just go back, finish the setup, and putting
Oh.
away stuff. So.
Yeah, I'll put
Okay.
away like my bag and everything.
Okay, so you guys you put your stuff away, stash away the supplies, close the tents and everything, and then grab your eating utensils and go over and join because by this point most of the sort of camp is gathered around the three big cook fires. Officer Pureheart kind of comes over to you guys and it says hello again.
It doesn't have any
introduces you
cost.
to a
Yes, it
couple
doesn't
of
have any
people.
cost for bullets, by the way, so I don't know what to do.
50
use
gold
co-
apiece.
Use
At
cost,
least.
use cost for arrows.
Okay, will do. Sweet.
I can't be. I know they should be more expensive. Don't just can't be asked to deal with it. I know you guys are rich. Yeah. So she introduces you to
I'm not
a few
rich enough
people
for me.
around, and then they talk to you, and she kind of stays part of the conversation for
I
15
found
minutes
it.
or so, and just kind of for a bit, she keeps up the sort of friendly and polite but quite firm questioning, as though she's kind of testing the angles of your story,
Right.
making sure you were being truthful, and everything you'd said kind of holds up, and eventually she leaves you guys to just mingle with.
Wait, Pureheart left? No. I want to.
Yeah, okay, but that's just what's happening. If you want to, I'm just describing the events of the evening. If you want to have any specific conversations, then that's absolutely fine.
I would do.
We'll handle that in a second. But yeah, and then you just hang out with the other paladins, and it's just chatting. There's a mix of some new ones to some fairly grizzled veterans, especially those that fought in Northrend during the Argent Crusade, which was the push against Arthas when the Lich King was finally slain, and so on. You pick up from them throughout the course of just kind of conversations over the evening, as you share tales and they share tales. That everything is not. There's a bit of nervousness. Not everything is not quite right in the Plaguelands. No one is ready to declare a crisis quite yet, but especially the older paladins are there's a feeling that there's the Scourge over the last weeks and months are becoming increasingly active and belligerent.
We'll put a stop to that.
Less passive than they have been since Arthas was destroyed. They're actively trying to do things now, rather than just kind of sitting around and attacking anyone who comes near, and causing problems. And so they kind of, when you say you're going to visit the Tomb of Uth, they kind of warn you about that. Be extra careful because there's something strange in these hills and stuff like that. So you get over the course of the evening as you talk the kind of sense that everything is
So,
not.
The question is,
not fine and
when
dandy.
you say that there's strange things, they make obviously the obvious thing would be the scourge, right, or whatever the undead.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're talking about.
No, that's what they're talking. But like, it's the behavior of the scourge. It's like,
Okay.
you know, they're you know, like
Yeah.
so some of them say, we haven't seen them this sort of coordinated since the Lich King since the Lich King lived. Like, there's
Right.
almost like there's a power coordinating them, or even or just a small group of them. If it's not as bad as when Arthas was alive, but something's going on. The Scourge are doing things like destroying bridges or attacking supply wagons, whereas previously it would have been like if you were wagoning past and you just happened to bump into a group of ghouls, but like there'd been planned ambush and stuff have happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, so as they say this, I kind of respond with, do you think perhaps Sylvanas is behind it? He does have a connection with the undead, obviously.
The Dark Lady. I kind of stop thinking about. It doesn't seem that it would have been her style. I mean, sure, she's warlike and has no love for us, the Alliance, or we here at Chillwind Camp, but Sylvanas' fundamental core has always been, or fundamental value has always been the freedom of her people. Seems unlikely that she would resort to mindless but controlled scourge, the arts of a necromancer, to go about her aims. She would use undead but free-willed subjects of hers. At least in our experience. Some of us have fought in faction conflicts before, as well as conflicts against the forces of true evil.
I don't consider Sylvanas true evil.
Not really, right?
But it isn't like if anyone would, it would be the Alliance members of the Argent Dawn. I guess they're one step removed from the Scarlet Crusade, who are just dedicated to the annihilation of all undead. Scourge,
by the way,
or,
is it now common knowledge that
Crusade.
Sylvanas is leading the Horde?
yeah, but by now that would have filtered
Okay.
through. Although, the news, honestly, you're quite a long way from home base for the Alliance here, so the news might not have filtered all the way up here yet. But
Right.
you'd imagine that back in Stormwood and Ironforge, yeah, that news would have in the last week or so would have filtered around.
Gotcha.
It depends how well fed with intel these.
Well,
these
the way they're
guys are.
talking, it seems. I mean,
Well, they're right next to Forsaken Lands, which Sylvanas
yeah, I
has been
guess.
the leader of. So
Yeah.
to them, she's a leader.
I guess I ask,
whether she's leading the undead or the horde.
do you have any theories to what might be causing this?
None yet. We sent an expeditionary force to Andoral to see what they can scrounge up. They haven't come back yet, but we wouldn't have expected them to by now. Should be out there at least another week. 30 men strong, so
30 or 13, sorry.
30.
Oof,
3-0.
a lot.
So they should be able to handle themselves.
Yes.
If they don't find anything, then we'll have to search somewhere else.
Wait, where did he say where they were searching?
Andoral.
Andoral. Map up.
That's a little town close.
Yes, Andoral is here.
Okay.
That's the place
Oh.
that we had talked about. One of the possible, ways
Mhm.
to
Oh,
make it.
but yeah, that's
towards
just
Skrill.
full of the scourge, right?
Yeah.
30 paladins versus City of Scourge. Who will win?
Ready?
Right.
Epic
Fine.
rap battles of history.
I just want to hear the
So-
Scourge rap because it's probably just
Right.
exactly.
Hey.
Okay. Is Pure Heart, did she involved in this conversation or?
Not by this point, no. She was with you for the first 15 minutes of dinner, and then satisfied herself that you guys were who you said you were, and moved off to chat with other people. But she's still just 20 feet away by
Right.
a different fire. If you want to go over and say hi. Or
So
ask her
one
anything.
thing that I will
Right,
try
right.
to keep an eye on but somewhat nonchalantly, is just to see if she makes any move back towards our tents to like possibly go through our
your
stuff. Yeah, to
Okay.
see if our gear matches the story type thing. You know,
Sure.
like
Yeah, okay. You kind of like keep half an eye on your tents, and no one seems to go near them.
and
Like,
also
every time someone like wanders off to take a piss, you keep it there. I'm watching you. And they I mean, they never go too far because like the last thing you want to do is go where no one can see you and then get like a ghoul drops out of a tree on top of you. But
right,
yeah,
Classic Walking Dead. Yeah.
classic Walking Dead. But yeah, no one goes near your tents. Well, I mean, they go near them because like they're in the camp. No one goes and searches them, or like pauses by them or anything.
gotcha.
Ian, you had a conversation in mind?
Yeah, so like I'll excuse myself from like the others, like the ones talking about the position and and I'll try to just go up to her.
Okay, yeah, she's just standing sort of at the end of one of the sort of row of fires.
Talking to anyone or just by herself?
Yeah, talking with the male Draenei paladin you saw her with earlier.
Okay, I'll kind of as I walk up, I'll kind of do they see me approach? I guess that would depend. Like if they see me approach, return to me. That would depend on what I say.
You're far too sneaky.
Okay. So I'll get close and I'll kind of stand maybe like 5 feet away or something and see. If
Okay. Well, yeah. By the time you get 5 feet,
yeah, well, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
You're too sneaky when they're like, all right, I guess.
Well, I thought it was do they stop the conversation before you get so close that you could overhear any of it?
Oh no. It was just
Okay.
do they look up at me as I'm
when you approach that approach, obviously they see you. When you are obvious about your approach, then yes, they see you.
I was
But,
always.
they don't see you.
He's
They
like,
don't see
cool,
you kind of
cool.
coming from the second you start moving.
No. Alright, so when do they look up at me or something? Oh, he's gone! He's gone! Session cancelled! Fucking Rocket League time. Oh,
Cool. Got my
right, so yeah,
tankers.
so do they look up at me, Chris? Or whatever? Is that
Yeah,
cool?
yeah, they acknowledge as you approach from a
So,
normal distance.
So as I get within speaking distance, I'll be like, "Excuse me, Officer Pureheart. I don't know if I could ask you a couple of questions."
Yes, Mr. Compton. Ask away.
Personal questions.
Yeah, so if you come to my tent, no. And I was talking with a light spark when we were gathering supplies, and I had a question about about fighting some of the scourge. I kind of passed the revolver on my belt. I'm like, this is one of the weapons I choose to fight with, and I was wondering, I haven't had much combat with the undead. If I fire a weapon like this in perhaps a populated area, will the scourge be attracted from far away? How good is their sense of hearing, and would it allow noise to attract it more?
She frowns and says, ordinarily I would have said no, but in recent times, it's wise to be careful about giving away your position when in Scourge territory. Sounds can and will bring dozens, if not hundreds of them, down upon you.
Okay, I will make sure not to use this unless absolutely necessary. Do you have any general, advice on fighting them if we do get swarmed, if there are large numbers? You said, I heard overhearing that they seem to be more organized now than before. Do you think there is anything more to be wary about?
Yes. Be wary of things that you would not... These days it's important when traveling to Plague Lands to be wary of things that would not ordinarily have been concerns when the Scourge were simply mindless bodies walking around, attacking savagely anything they saw. These days, ambushes, even bait and traps are possibilities when dealing with them. Treat anything out of the ordinary with extreme caution, but when fighting them, they still, when fighting them, each individual Scourge is still as mindless as ever. They can be coordinated, but their individual tactics are basic. So,
I see.
Choke points are useful.
Yes.
High ground is useful. Just do your best not to be surrounded. Would be my recommendation.
I see. Yes. During our journey up Chilwyn Pass, we actually encountered a group of ghouls, and in fact a banshee the ghouls we managed this ban trip, but the Banshee actually escaped without us being able
Banshee.
to follow. Indeed.
Hmm.
And if
Escaped. I scared that bitch off.
I'm
Come
not
on.
going to say that, because I don't want to give to detail if that's how we
Right.
fight or anything.
True.
That is indeed grave news. It's bad enough to know that ghouls are roaming so far from the Plague Lands, but to know that the soul of the Nightborn headed down
To Georgia.
Chillwind Pass. Well, I don't wouldn't call them Nightborn, would they? What's that? What's a high elf called? The soul of a highborn, not Nightborn. The
Bitch.
soul of a highborn left so far. That is indeed a danger to
Yes.
all travelers in nearby
Yeah.
lands.
We were very surprised to see such creatures so far, so
Thank you for telling me.
no problem. But thank you for your advice, and me and my party will be as careful as we can on the road.
Do be. We look forward to seeing you on your return.
I hope so too. Kind of nod and turn back to return to
They continued their conversation in Draenei.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll just kind of chill and
Maria Christori. Come Christori. That's the Draenei expression.
Does it mean?
Hello, I think.
Oh wow, that's that expression. Hello. Okay.
They're just saying hello back and forth.
Hello.
That's
Just working on our pronunciation.
Chronokai Christori. Oh no, it doesn't. But that's just what they say when they meet you in game. What it means is the Legion will fall.
Oh fuck.
Nice.
It's a good opener.
You click on a Draenei NPC and he's like, the Legion will fall.
Nice icebreaker, yeah.
Their greeting is Arcanon Poros, which means good fortune.
Was. Have a name?
Arcanon Poros.
Cool.
Dionysaka means safe journey. Huh.
Wow.
That's what they say
Yeah.
when you leave them, so that makes sense.
I think I'm just like, I think I leave personally. I've got
Aloha.
nothing else to do tonight.
Okay. So you guys just mingle for a bit, but like, you know.
Go to bed nice and early though. Got to wake up early and get a nice day's start. Oh shit! I think I probably didn't notice this. Does Scourging mainly act at night, or they just act during the day, or do they sleep, for instance?
No, they don't sleep.
No, are they more active during the day or night, or does it not matter?
They have like a reputation for being more lethal during the night, but it's like because they aren't inhibited by the night, but other people tend to be. But no, there's no effect on their activity.
Okay, sure. And I know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so I spent the night just basically being polite and like trying to get a feel of the situation. But
Roll for
mostly
politeness.
I can
You
roll
know,
for
normally some bad in the
persuasion.
tracker. Normally some bad.
My character,
In Discord, you're always so mean to me. Make me cry every time.
talking about my character. And I'm just trying to make sure, like, for example, Shalan doesn't say anything. How did you all know?
No, that's smart. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Wow. Okay. I
Yeah,
feel.
well,
You admitted you might not be the best at deceptions.
Yeah.
Looking out for that.
I can probably maintain the current lie, but if I have to expand on this lie,
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
things will go south quickly at some point.
Okay. So unless anyone else wants to do anything this evening, night can pass. Do you guys keep a watch? Obviously, the Argent Dawn keeps
No,
several watches.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to have
By
like,
the way,
safe vision.
Chris, I do have a question.
Mhm.
Like painting or drawing, those like sketching, what ability is that?
Dex.
I would assume so.
No.
Wisdom.
Yeah, I think wisdom.
Dex
The wisdom?
and wisdom.
Even better.
Dex.
Can it be a
and-
combination? Because then I'm like the
Just
grandmaster.
add both.
Because then, fuck you both.
You think
No,
wisdom
I
over
think-
intelligence?
Yeah, I think wisdom over intelligence.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely could see like this would be one where it could be both, for different
Yeah,
reasons.
I think it's
But,
a
yeah.
fair argument to be
Cool.
made either way, but I personally like
so
wisdom.
I
for it.
think then
but
it makes
then,
sense for my character that like I do sketch things like that I see. Like I have like a sketch of the flower that we saw earlier.
the
a
artist's
sketch of-
insight, right? Like
Yeah, but no, it's performance with charisma, right? It's performance. Like,
charisma makes
but
no
it's
sense.
definitely
doesn't it?
not charisma. At all.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it's
Yeah, it's like
I mean, yeah, but
I think,
performance is more like a.
I
It's
think.
not.
Okay, I think. If
I
you
mean, I
wanna
don't.
make,
Yeah, but
like,
charisma is also for like musical instruments, which doesn't make any.
If you want to make like an, I think if you
That
want to make
actually-
like an architectural.
does.
Do you think charisma makes sense for musical instruments? You have a lot of people who are like.
I think if you do, like-
yeah, play that piano.
I don't know. You get a lot of uncharismatic people playing piano who are like autistic. I'm just saying. Like,
Oh, wow.
It's like-
Look at
Yeah.
there's a reason that there's like this idea that right like there's a feeling and an emotion that's brought from a performance
but there's
itself.
also emotions
versus
from painting.
if someone's just sitting there and just playing the music dead set, it's
I
considered.
mean, if they're
robotic.
really good at it, anyways, it's probably
Yeah,
They don't
I
have
know
the
what you mean.
feel
performance either
of
way.
it. Like
But
there
then-
definitely much is a
But
feel.
that
to a
definitely is said
performance,
about
like,
paintings.
brought by
Like
charisma.
paintings, for everyone who's like you know the feel and the emotion that goes into a bit of work. Like Van Gogh is what really like makes a painting famous, right? Like
Yeah, but by all accounts, Van Gogh was an asshole.
yeah, but he like
And
had a-
maybe
he played
right,
with
maybe that
festival.
could be true if it was like if you're doing speed painting in front of an audience performance, maybe.
That's Dex. Speed painting is Dex.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think like if it's like you're trying to do like an architectural diagram or a set of blueprints or something, that'd be int.
Yeah.
If you're like doing a portrait or painting like a valley,
Yeah, I think
some
yeah,
Bob Ross
it'd be-
shit, I like wisdom for that.
I think it really depends. I mean, really, it should be like a skill that no ability skills check to, and you just
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be just like
see whatever,
skill
like-
painting. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's probably But
For me, I like.
Because I mean, there's a lot of painters of Shonen World who aren't wide. There's a lot of painters who aren't like dexterous. There's a lot of painters who aren't like, because you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
So my
It's a lot of
sketches for-
intelligence.
my sketches for tonight are like a 14.
nice.
Cool.